Hi guys, anyone who's been following politics in general and Nigel Farage in particular over the last number of decades realises that he plays a character on TV and he plays a character in politics, and the real Nigel Farage is a bit more mysterious. Now, a guy called Nick phoned into an LBC show where he actually went to Nigel Farage's same school and met the guy. Have a listen.
Charismatic, threatening. His accent has changed hugely since he was at school. You've got to remember, Dulwich College wasn't in those days like your classical public school. It still had very much a culture of being like a grammar school. He brushed up his accent when he went to work, but his time in Dulwich, he was kind of not one of the intellectuals. He was one of the ones that was trying to be sort of salt of the earth, kind of almost working class. He was, known as a character, and he was one of these people you thought, well, we'll probably hear from him again somewhere along the line. And when, because you hear these things, I heard him pop up as, 20, 30 years ago as a MEP. I thought, oh, there he goes again.
Right.
What a surprise.
The big question, Nick, of course, is, given you were a school friend of his, or went to school with him, I don't know if you were friends, will you be voting for reform at the next election?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. My theory is he actually sort of got into UKIP just as somebody to disrupt things and didn't really want to win anything. He wanted to be the guy shouting on the sidelines and carping at people. And he's won the Brexit was an accident, really. I don't think he even wanted Brexit. He'd rather have been sort of complaining about things without taking responsibility. I think it's all just rolled on too far for him. I think he kind of doesn't know the monster he's created.
Well said. This caller is completely correct. I'm in 100% agreement because you can see it. Farage, when he was a member of the European Parliament, did he actually do any work when he was there? Did he actually take any responsibility? No, of course not. It was just about carping from the sidelines or complaining. Now that he's a member of Parliament, what is he doing for his constituents? He's doing nothing. Whenever he is in the House of Commons, he's just complaining about things that are not related to his constituents, or he's talking up Donald Trump. This is a guy who doesn't care about ordinary people, has never done, but he has realised, probably from his school days, that if he speaks the language of the working class, they will listen to him. They will follow him. And he has been extremely successful in achieving those goals, in the sense that he's been able to convince people to vote against their own interests. We saw it in 2016, we saw it in 2019, we saw it last year as well, and we're still seeing it. He's able to speak the language of the working class, convince them that he's on their side, when in reality he's not. He's on the side of people like himself, very rich individuals. But he has understood that all he has to do is press certain buttons. In the case of immigration, this is something that he can use to convince people to vote for him and his party. I'm on your side. Immigrants are coming to take your jobs, or to take your homes, or to take your livelihoods, to take everything away from you. And he's been successful in doing that. And people have voted for his party or voted the way that he wanted over the last number of years. And it's likely that he'll be in a position where he could become Prime Minister. Now, I have said before, and I'm still sitting on the fence here, I don't know if Nigel Farage wants to be Prime Minister because, as Nick pointed out, the caller, he doesn't want responsibility. And there's a lot of sense to that. Why would somebody who's been like a heckler in a comedy club suddenly decide to get up on stage? Because then he has to deliver. And Nigel Farage, if he understands anything about politics, of course he understands a lot about it, understands that if you're running, it's different running a party to running a government. And he may think that he can succeed, or he may realize that he can't. And then he will fail. And then he will be removed. And he will be a failure. He'll be kicked out. He'll lose his seat. So what he's doing at the moment, of course, is convincing the public that he is the viable alternative. That Labour are not able to deliver. But if he was in charge, he would deliver. He's done it before when it comes to Brexit. The Brexit that he was selling goes to a different school. It didn't get implemented. If he had been in charge, if he had been Prime Minister in 2019 instead of Boris Johnson, then he would have got Brexit over the line in a way that would have been a successful Brexit. It's always somebody else's fault. So if he does get into power, if he does become Prime Minister, First of all, he'd be blaming everyone else for his failures, but I still think that he would prefer to put somebody like Richard Tice or somebody else in charge as Prime Minister and take a back seat and allow them to take the flak. Because then he can just blame them for not doing the job correctly, and he will be still safe. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.